sponsors for this video are Espiri, Warner's Outdoor Solutions, CarX Auto Service, and Paul Cides Real Estate.
Hey, this is Coach Sprout here for East Ridge Baseball, talking to you a little bit today about playing infield defense, some of the things that we do in our program throughout our practices in the spring and the summer. Start off with a few goals of our program when we're playing infield defense. We want to do a couple things correctly every time we take the field. One, we want to know the situation, whether it's a right-handed hitter, left-handed hitter, or whatever is going on in a game. Our infielders need to know that before the pitch is thrown each time so that they're in the right spot to make the play. The second thing we want to do is to know our mechanics when we're fielding the baseball. We want to know them really well so that in the game we don't actually have to think about the mechanics. We just need to know them so our body naturally does them when we have to make a play. The third thing that we preach with our kids is to be aggressive. If you're not aggressive, the ball's playing you and you're not playing the ball, and you're prone to make more mistakes that way. So we tell our kids be aggressive, and if you make a mistake that way, that's just fine. We'll be okay with that as long as you're being aggressive on the ball and attacking it the best you can. Now, how do we do this? There's a couple of things that we focus on when we practice and when we play. We work on our depth as an infielder, where we're going to play in certain situations, whether it's a double play situation or just nobody on base, depending on what's going on in the game. We have signs that we go through. Infielders know this means play in. Infielders know that this means double play depth, and this one means we want you to play back as far as you can so that we can keep the ball in the infield and not let any cheap balls get through for a cheap hit. Alright? The second thing we do is we keep our mechanics very simple. We focus on right, left field, right, left throw. So what I'm talking about there is short steps with our fielders as they're about to field the baseball. They're going to step right, step left, and this left foot's going to be just a little bit in front of their right one most of the time, and then they're going to field the baseball. Alright? Now once they field the baseball, they're going to do right, left, throw. So again, it's right, left, field, right, left, throw. Very simple, but they've got to do that correctly and keep those footsteps nice and short so that they don't get too spread out, they don't fall over with their chest or anything like that. They want to keep balance right above their feet while they're doing this. Now again, we go back to that aggressive part. The third thing we focus on is to really be aggressive and attack the ball out front of our body with our glove. So as we're fielding, it's right, left, field, and my glove is going to get out in front and field the baseball out here. Do not let it get into you. Most kids are going to want to do that because they don't trust themselves, but they want to field it out here, whether it's with one hand or two hands. So they're going to field and then get right to their throwing position, right, left, throw. So those are things you can work on. Balance and staying over top of their feet with their chest as they're fielding the baseball, and being aggressive. Because you never know what kind of field you're going to play on. The better you are at going and getting the baseball, the easier it is and more efficient you are in making outs. Now, here's a couple of spots from our sponsors in the program. After that, we're going to talk about our daily work, both day one and day two for infielders.
Infield defense day one sponsors are OBS Neighborhood Grill, Main Street Family Dental, Exterior Renovation Specialists, and the Urgency Room.
Okay, so day one infield work. We take about 20 minutes every single day with our infielders, and one of our coaches takes them and does day one or day two work with them, and we kind of rotate back and forth to make sure they get the proper work. Day one is all about fielding the ground ball correctly. So what we do is we have all our infielders play up on the grass like they're playing in. Again, we go with this signal right here, they're playing in. And our infielder is going to be up on the grass, right on the edge, and this is where they just got to play the ball in front of them, working on fielding the ball out here with their glove. We're going to not allow them to use their hand to start, so they're going to have one hand behind them, and they're going to field the baseball out in front. Okay, so you're going to do a few rounds of those with your infielders. If you don't let them use their hand, this makes them field that ball out in front. As soon as they get that second hand in there, that's when they try and cheat and get that ball into them a little bit more. So force them to do that a few times through. Then once you do that, have them use both hands. And as you see me fielding the baseball here, you're going to see that simple right, left field, right, left throw. A couple of things to look for is make sure their chest is staying over top of their feet, not getting too far over, but not getting back. Their glove is fielding the ball out in front of them. And then once they're throwing, as they right, left field, they want to stay on one level as much as they can, not jump way up. They want to field, stay right here, and right, left, giving that throwing position. Good throwing position with their whole body, and they're not bouncing around on different levels. All right? Now, after you do a few rotations of that playing up, then we move them back. All right, and this is where we go through our ground ball series. And they're going to do a few rounds where the ball's going to be hit right to them, working on the same thing. So they can use both hands now, and they're going to be here playing back, and you're going to want them to be aggressive and move up on the baseball. Again, staying on a good level, not bouncing up and down too much. Do a few rounds of that. Now, here's where it gets tricky. Some coaches cannot hit the backhand. They can't hit the forehand really well. So we make our players start on a few rounds of their backhand, actually just like this, and we're going to hit the ground ball right to them. So they just work on one, being in the right spot at the right level, and then two, working on their footwork from there. So they're going to start down here. They're going to have that glove out in front of this foot. Remember, being aggressive and not letting it get into them. So they're going to be right here, hit it right to them. All right, they're going to do that. All right, and then they can work on their footwork here, getting that foot down, right, left, throw. All right, you don't have to make them do any throws during this time. You can have them just working on fielding, and then you could have them do some throwing a little bit later when I show you the rest of it. Now, go to the forehand, do a couple rounds of this. Same concept where they're going to be open up to their forehand already. Glove is going to field the ball out in front of their foot. Don't let it get behind. Finish with that glove and attack the baseball. Finish right here. Now, as they work on their footwork, that ball's in the glove. Get that foot out right here, stay on one level, and get to your throwing position. Those are kind of the series. So ground balls right on for a few rounds, ground balls to that backhand, ground balls to the forehand. This really helps you develop consistency doing all types of plays. Encourage them to make that backhand play, because too many kids try and get it like this in front of it, and they have no shot at throwing out the runner because there's not enough time. Focus on that backhand, do it well, then go to the forehand. Now, the other half to that day one workout on ground balls is starting with the ball in their glove. So a player's going to have the ball in their glove, and they're going to work on just going through the footwork. So they're going to go through that ground ball series. They're going to practice balls in my glove already. They're going to go right, left, field, and then they're going to go right, left, and they're going to throw. All right? Then they're going to go their backhand. Ball's in their glove. Right here, right, step, get that foot down. See, I'm on one level. Then they want to shuffle and get to that throwing position, not jumping up too much. Then the ball's going to be in their glove, and they're going to go to their forehand. Ball and glove in front of the foot. They're going to field it, swing this front foot through here, get in one level, and be ready to make a throw across. Now, that's going to be, 5, 6, 7 minutes of your infielders taking turns doing that and making throws across the infield. Then, you're going to want to have them kind of work back at it, and you can hit them the full ground ball, and you can have them throwing across as well. So, that's kind of breaking down the whole day one. That should take you about 20 minutes if you're working with about 5 or 6 infielders, getting them all the repetitions, doing the different types of ground ball series.
Infield Defense Day 2 sponsors are Jet Black, Kowalski's, Hepner's Auto Body, and Only One Auto Glass.
Okay, we're going to talk a little bit about our day 2. Again, 20 minutes of daily work time. Day 2 is the focus on double plays for our infielders and our coaches. You take all your infielders and you're going to start by working on the box drill. This is a pretty popular one when you're inside. When you're outside, you can really expand it and do a lot more with it when you have the room. Box drill is quite simply getting 4 kids together, and if you got 2 boxes, that's awesome, then they can compete against each other. 4 kids together, probably about 10 feet apart, and that'll move as you do this drill a little bit more and more. They're going to start with just doing bare hands, and you're just going to work on tossing the ball to each other like they would be turning a double play. You're also working on your footwork. So when you're tossing the ball, we always encourage our players to do an underhand toss, whichever way you're going. So as you have your kids toss around the circle or the square, have them toss underhand like this, just like a frisbee, and have that hand finish right at their target. If it goes up, that's not good. If it goes down, that's going to hurt their accuracy. So right to their target. And again, have them stay on one level. No popping way up or staying way down. Stay right here in a good ready position. You can have them just work on tossing it as fast as you can around the square. You can time them if you have two groups. 30 seconds, see who can do the most. Have the loser do some push-ups or something to kind of encourage some competition. You can go both ways with it. Now when you go clockwise, you're going to have kids toss like this. Now the big thing you want to look for is when they're catching that ball, you want them catching it somewhere here in their chest, but you don't want to have them catch it and then doing their shuffle with their feet. You want them to do that while the ball's coming to them. So as that ball is coming to them, their feet are already shuffling and getting set to toss the ball. That's going to speed up your double play. Then you can have them do that a few times back and forth, then you can have them put their gloves on and do the same thing. Alright, so that's one thing you can do. Now, as you have more space, you can then have them back it up and do a real throw, turning that double play. Same type of footwork, it's just a little bit further apart. Time them for 30 seconds. You can even add in a little trick, which is really good for footwork, is where when they catch the ball and they're going to throw it to the next person, whichever way they're going around, have people randomly go down on a knee. And so when a person catches the ball, they have their feet ready to go, they're catching, and they're ready to throw, and that person's down on a knee, then they've got to reset their feet and go to the next person. And you can have them randomly do that around the square, so you can have them work on resetting your feet. Because how many times have you seen a kid catch the ball like this, and then they want to make a throw, and they go like this, try and throw it like that. It's not a good way to throw. So, you can do that for a few minutes, then you should be on the field, and you should be working on turning that double play. Break it down. Have your fielders work on that first half of the double play where they are working on just fielding and being accurate to the base. Hit them that ground ball series of regular, backhand, and forehand so that they can work on turning those double plays. Know what double play depth is. Whenever there's a runner on first, you want your infielders, your shortstop and second baseman, to be playing up and closer to the base so that they can turn a double play. You sacrifice positioning so that you can turn a double play whenever you can. That's this sign when we're playing defense. Alright, now you do that with your infielders. Your middle guys should be working on their footwork. You should always see your second baseman with his left foot on the base. And he can catch the ball from there, whether he's going towards the player throwing to him, going off the base this way or coming this way. Start with his left foot on the base, be there early so that he's right into his right-left throw. He can come through the base, he can come on the back side of it, or he could take the ball on this side of the base as well. Left foot always on the base. Your shortstop catching the ball, he should have his right foot on the base, and whenever the ball's coming to him, this left foot should be in the air, and he should be stabbing down whichever way the ball's coming at him. The foot goes where the glove goes. He catches, and then he takes his right foot and replaces right to first base. And you work on that part. First guy turning a double play needs to be accurate. The guy on second base turning a double play needs to be quick. That's the way you're going to turn a double play, and the more you practice this on a daily basis, the better your team is going to be because you're going to get 2 outs instead of 1, and that's going to cut down their inning and cut down the runs that they score.